Okay, so the new album is called Call Me Back Home, and I recorded it here in Long Beach at a studio called Big Ego. And we recorded it just over a year ago, and now it's finally coming out. So it's been a worthwhile wait. And now it's pressed on limited edition vinyl, and it's just a beautiful record with great players, and I'm excited. I wrote 7 of the songs. There's 3 covers. One was written by the producer, Chris Schlarb. Another is a Steve Young cover, and another is a traditional song. Yeah. Up Above My Head. Up Above My Head it's a traditional song, but it was made famous by Sister Rosetta Tharpe, who was kind of one of the first rock and roll musicians. A lot of people don't know about her, but she was incredible. She was a gospel singer, and she kind of brought a lot to the rock and roll genre, and that's one of her most famous songs. So I kind of wanted to use that tune to kind of bring about the American roots theme in the album. Mm-hmm. Okay, well, I moved to LA about 5 years ago, and I wanted to do my own music. I'd been singing in other bands, and I sang in choir as a kid, was always into music, but I wanted to do something that was my own. So I started trying to get better at guitar. I started going to open mics. I got my first few gigs at a farmer's market, and then met a bunch of musicians and bands, and just kind of started just grinding at it, trying to get better, and playing all over LA. So it's been a great, strange, and fun journey. I like a lot of old folk, roots, country music, but I also really like indie rock music. I think although I'm influenced by country and folk music, I tend to write pop, kind of rock-based songs, and so that's why it was fun on this album to kind of mix that up, to kind of bring the instrumentation of a roots album with my writing, which is maybe more pop-centered. On the Slide was written by the producer of the record, Chris, and it's just an amazing song. I love his writing. He's so talented, and it's just a special song. And I guess he actually wrote it about a famous porn star who was very famous and rich, and then lost everything. And so On the Slide is he's going down. So yeah, that's what that song's about. You would never know. But it's one of my favorites on the record, for sure. Just keep playing. I just want to keep doing this. I want to make another record and then play more shows, and then make another record and play more shows. If I can keep doing that, then that's success to me. Self-promotion is really hard for me, and I'm just kind of with this record, I had to really get better at it, because I knew, I had a little bit of help with the Big Ego records, but a lot of it fell onto my shoulders, as well as it does with everybody, and that's been a struggle for me, because it's not my first priority. My first priority is the music and getting out and gigging. But really, at the end of the day, if you make something great, you kind of have to promote it yourself, especially at first. And if the quality is good, if it's good music, people will respond, and then it kind of is a positive reinforcement, encouragement, rather than just feeling like you're just bombarding people with stuff. I guess it's just good to kind of choose when to really push something, I love playing live, but I love being in the studio. The studio offers a lot of creativity, and yeah, I love singing in studio. I like doing background vocals too on other people's music and stuff. But yeah, it's just 2 very different things, but I love both. Yeah, I get a lot of comparisons to Emmylou Harris, which is one of my favorite singers. That's a good one. Sometimes I get Alison Krauss, who I also love. Yeah, those are the two big ones. Sometimes I get other ones that I've never heard of. I do some freelance work in film, and then I also do, like, I play in other bands for money, and I do some studio vocal work, supplemented with gigs, and just sometimes there's more of one thing, and sometimes there's more music. Yeah, it's an ever-changing lifestyle. I have a bunch of gigs coming up. I have one of my local pubs that I play at is called the Irish Times. I'm playing there on the 20th this month. And then a really cool new bar called Love Song Bar, downtown LA. That's on the 3rd of, no, I'm sorry, that's the 4th of March. And then actually the 24th of February, I'm going to do an LA record release show for the people that couldn't make this show. I'm going to do an LA one. You can find my tour dates at leeannskoda.com. One more thing about the record that's really unique is that it was done mostly live, all in the room, live takes, which is very rare these days, so that's why it's special to me.
Thank you for allowing us to interview.
Thank you. Thanks for coming.
Good luck with the album.
Thank you so much. This is really great.